The Alabama Farmers Federation and the Alabama Farmers Cooperative proudly present Simply Southern with your hosts Jim Allen and Mary Johns.
Hello and thanks for joining us as we kick off our 5th season of Simply Southern. I'm Mary Johns.
And I'm Jim Allen. Sydney Phelps of Bonnie Plants will be in the studio with us today to answer questions some of you have submitted about issues you faced in your garden.
Since the year 2000, volunteers across the state have given of their time to clean up the state's waterways through Alabama Power's Renew Our Rivers program.
It's not one person's job to clean our waterways. The water belongs to the public.
Alabama farmers use ponds instead of rivers to produce well over 100 million pounds of catfish each year. It's an industry that not only feeds people all over the world, it provides much needed jobs in an economically depressed area of the state.
We provide 3,000 direct jobs, but a lot of indirect jobs.
But coming up next, these mean machines have traded cutting lawns for mowing down the competition at the racetrack.
What sustains us? Food? Family? Faith. Alabama farmers live those things every day. They conserve our resources, clothe our families, and fill our tables. They cultivate jobs for our communities and values for our future. Farmers grow it all right here in Alabama.
There's no such thing as downtime when you own a farm. This is your land. You tend it and try to get the most from it, no matter the weather or time of day. It's been that way for generations. And for generations, your local quality co-op store has been there for you, with a full range of agriculture supplies and services, from feed to fertilizer, seed to grain storage, and the right hardware for any application. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
If you're lucky enough to be riding instead of pushing, a 10 or 15 horsepower lawn tractor can make the weekend yard work something to look forward to. But if it's got wheels and an engine, somebody's going to start tinkering around and eventually you've got yourself a race on your hands. This is your average riding mower, a shining beacon of civilized domestic landscaping. But when civilization gets a little too tame, this happens. For 9 years, lovers of lawn power had made the trip to the small Alabama town of Stevenson to see some fast-moving mowers tear up the track. How fast will one of your machines go?
I reckon as fast as you want it. As fast as you want to go. This event started off being a Volkswagen show in June. Well, we make Volkswagens go real fast. They're not supposed to go fast. And it's just an odd thing. Something's not supposed to go that fast, so I thought it was a perfect combination. You couldn't help but love it. If you're a race fan of any kind, you know, whether it be dirt track or NASCAR or whatever, this is right up there with it. I mean, listen to them. It's twin-cylinder Tecumseh engines and Briggs & Strattons and Kohlers. It's, you know, got 70, 80 horsepower.
While not quite as prominent as its auto counterparts, lawnmower racing is a competitive sport worldwide. Participants from as far away as Australia had made the trip to Stevenson for the races. And after you see one of these bad boys open up on the straightaway, you'll see why.
What makes this so special is it's something that small going that fast. I mean, you know, you figure a 3 horsepower engine on an old go-kart, you figure these got 60 something horsepower on something that small. It's just crazy.
It's something you really need to experience. It's no roll cages, no seat belts. You're side by side, 30, 40, 50 mile an hour, and you hope the guy in front of you, or hope the guy beside you knows what they're doing. Because I mean, you can get hurt really quick and really fast, but it's fun.
Folks, what these racers can do with an average riding lawnmower is incredible. Although a few are close cousins to what you've probably got in your garage, some look like they're ready for Talladega.
You can do just about anything you want, motor-wise. You put a cam in it, put pistons in it, put different rods in it, aluminum flywheel, I mean, and do a lot of head work to them. I mean, there's just unlimited what you can do.
The power to weight ratio really, I guess, is the biggest thing, because some of these motors are putting out 100+ horsepower on a 250-pound machine. So your power to weight ratio is amazing. I mean, it'll set you back to see.
As cool as it is to watch a lawnmower take a 40 to 50 mile an hour skid through a sharp turn, I have to wonder, what drives someone to do such a crazy thing?
I have no earthly idea, but I'm glad they do.
There is a lot of excitement, especially somebody that has never been around lawnmower racing before. And like you take the little town of Stevenson, and we run in a little town called Scottsdale, Tennessee. You take your little, I call them mom and pop towns, which that's where I like to go, because the people that's never seen this, man, they go crazy over it. I mean, because it's not every day you hear about a racing lawnmower.
What got me into lawnmower racing was my son and then my grandson. That's where I got my 3G, 3 generations. It's fun. It's a big racing family. You get to hang out and have a good time, spend with some quality people. You get on one and start driving it. Get on, have a good time. I mean, go out there and have fun. That's what it's all about.
Mary, if my lawnmower clocked in at 80 miles an hour, I'd have my grass cut faster than you say George Possum Jones.
Now, you do have to factor in the time, though, that it will take you to fish the lawnmower out of your neighbor's pool.
I hadn't thought about that.
Uh-huh. Now up next, this year marks the 20th anniversary for Alabama Power's Renew Our Rivers program. Find out why this program is so important after the break.
Soybean is a very versatile product. We make crayons out of it.
A lot of the combines you see rolling through the fields have a lot of plastic side panels that are made from a soy product.
The soybeans that we grow on our farm mostly goes into chicken feed.
Soybean production in Alabama employs over 10,000 people.
We grow some of the best soybeans in the world.
We go the extra mile to make sure when our name is stamped on it, we know it's the best product we can produce.
You could see it before anyone else. Your future, your own place, independence. It's not perfect, but you love it. A place to grow, to be yourself.
All for a better life.
Dream big. Alpha Insurance.
All for a better life.
Protect your dream with Alpha's new business owner policies.
Seriously?
Have some respect. Pick it up, man.
Did you just litter?
Take pride in your school. Pick it up, man.
Clean it up, dude.
Besides keeping your campus clean, adopt a mile with roadside cleanup. Attend the next Coastal Cleanup Day or pitch in on the annual Spring Cleanup campaign. Make a difference by picking up litter and...
Don't drop it on Alabama!
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
A farmer has to live on faith. We do all we can do, but we can only control so much.
Alabama is the second largest poultry growing state in the nation, so we're trying our best to grow all the corn we can for that.
What we produce not only feeds and clothes all of the United States, but about half of what we make goes on to the world market.
We've been able to improve yields, have some things that can help us produce a better crop. I'm proud of the product we make and proud that I can say I'm an Alabama farmer.
Back in 1817, when Alabama was still a territory, Governor William Wyatt Bibb created Alabama's first state seal, which prominently featured major rivers of the territory. More than 200 years later, those waterways remain one of Alabama's most important features, used for everything from drinking water to recreation and power generation. And it takes the work of a lot of dedicated volunteers to keep all those rivers and lakes clean.
There's nothing quite like loading up a boat for a day of relaxation on the lake.
But these volunteers had their sights set on something more than soaking up the sun as they rolled up their sleeves to do some dirty work. Through Alabama Power's Renew Our Rivers program, they picked up trash along the shore of Smith Lake, which extends into Cullman, Walker, and Winston counties.
We'll get on several boats and we'll split up and go in different directions, but we'll try to hit pockets, areas that naturally would collect trash because of the way the water flows, the way the wind's blowing it in. And we'll go out for a few hours, pick up trash, come back in, have a little lunch, and then maybe go back out for just a little bit more.
2019 is the 20th anniversary for Renew Our Rivers. In 2 decades, the program has definitely left its mark.
We've removed over 15 million pounds of trash. Over 110,000 volunteers have participated. And so we do average, I'd say 30 or so cleanups a year, maybe 35 up to that, all around the state. And so it's a good program that we'd love to be involved with.
From tires and pool noodles to aluminum cans and plastic bottles, volunteers of all kinds retrieved all kinds of garbage.
Lake like Smith Lake or Lake Martin that we do that has a lot of floating docks, we'll find a lot of the big pieces of styrofoam and things like that that is broken loose under the dock. And we try to remove that because that could be obviously a boating hazard, something large like that. So we try to remove as much of that as we can, but the biggest thing as far as volume is probably bottles.
We found a few pieces of styrofoam, and mostly we found some very heavy black encapsulated styrofoam. And that's where it's really heavy. Usually it's waterlogged. And it takes several guys or a lot of people to get this into the boat. But mostly now it's just hand trash. And you know, the streams washes a lot of litter down to the lake, and we try to pick it up.
After a full morning on the water, volunteers returned to King's Boat Dock with 4 boats and a small barge full of trash. And their work wasn't finished, because all those garbage bags and heavy styrofoam floats still had to be loaded into the dumpster. But volunteers said the payoff from all that hard work is in knowing they're doing their part to keep Alabama's waters crystal clean for everyone and everything to enjoy.
Being involved in Renew Our Rivers is really something special because I'm an outdoorsman, and so I get to spend a lot of time on the water. But I get to see other people's reaction when I take people out and they pick up trash. They can't believe, say, why is this even in the water? And then they're just so proud that they're able to help make a difference and remove that from the water. So I just love being involved with it at any chance I can.
You know, without these organized cleanups, you know, the lake would be getting dirtier. So, you know, like I said, everybody's very proud of Smith Lake, so they want to try to keep it clean. And that would be true on any lake. Keep Alabama clean.
While we joined Renew Our Rivers volunteers for the cleanup of the Winston County portion of Smith Lake, they have other cleanup days for parts of the lake in Cullman and Walker counties. To find a cleanup near you, go online to alabamapower.com/renewourrivers. You might think the river is a great place to catch a nice catfish dinner, but the best place is on an Alabama farm. Up next, we'll show you where those flavorful fish fillets come from.
One out of 4 Alabama residents have benefited from the Alabama Cooperative Extension System. Last year, Master Gardener Managed Gardens donated $150,000 worth of fruits and vegetables to food banks, and over 25,000 young people developed math, science, technology, and engineering skills through 4-H. Now what we want to know is, how can we help you?
The versatile peanut. Meat of the earth. Friend of the soil. Tasty, nutritious, packed with protein. And Alabama peanut farmers nourish some very special things. Families, communities, and Alabama's economy. Peanuts. Good for you, good for Alabama.
And now, an Alabama tourism spotlight from Sweet Home, Alabama. For anyone going to Auburn University's Auburn Arena, the Lovelace Hall of Honor is a must-see for every fan. Housed in the concourse at the main entrance, the Hall of Honor offers the chance to find out what makes the Auburn experience unique by taking an interactive walk through the university's athletic history. Images of past championships and historical moments are displayed on screens, while 17 interactive cases display artifacts complementing the stories being told. A fan favorite is the Auburn Spirit Theater that features brief videos of Auburn's story on an impressive 16-foot screen. At the top of it all, visit the celebration area, where a ring of hanging white streamers represent Toomer's Corner after an Auburn victory. For your next adventure, go online to alabama.travel.
We've been raising fish for 33 years. Our farm and the catfish farms in Hale County in this area have had a huge impact on the labor, offering jobs. It's been a big economic boom for West Alabama. Our family is fully invested in U.S. farm-raised catfish.
When most people think of farm animals, cows, pigs, and chickens come to mind. But over in West Alabama, a lot of their animals are underwater.
And as Kevin Worthington tells us, the catfish industry provides not only a delicious meal for people all over the world, but a paycheck for people in a part of the state where jobs can be hard to find.
You could well be looking at the birthplace of the catfish industry in Alabama. In 1967, Bill Kaiser and his dad were among the first people in the state to grow catfish commercially when they built 4 2-acre ponds. Today, working with his 2 sons, Kaiser's total operation has expanded to 4,000 acres, with 750 of that underwater.
We probably produce close to 4 million pounds of fish a year. We try to raise 7,000 or 8,000 pounds per acre, but those numbers don't always work out. Some ponds do better than others. If we can average 6,000 pounds an acre and raise 4.5 million pounds, we'll consider that good.
Townsend says fish are born at a hatchery in April, May, and June. Around December, the baby fish, or fry as they're called, are put into production ponds when they reach 4 to 6 inches. Then, depending on the fish, they grow to harvest weight in 9 months to a year and a half.
We try to get them to 1.5 pounds, and sometimes they get a little bit bigger. We sell a live whole fish. We harvest it in our ponds, and then we load it onto a live haul truck that's got liquid oxygen and water, and they're taken to a facility that processes them.
On average, the fish are processed and frozen within an hour of their arrival at the plant. Only Mississippi produces more farm-raised catfish than Alabama. Townsend says a number of factors led to West Alabama becoming a prime location for the catfish industry.
We've got a good climate, we've got good soil. The Black Belt was a great place to raise fish. We can do it more efficiently here than anywhere else because of the soil that we have. But Greensboro took off because we had a processing plant, and that's why it grew here.
Many farmers, including Townsend's grandfather, switched to catfish decades ago after struggles with other crops like dairy and soybeans. But in making a change in order to simply survive, those farmers actually started an economic engine that's kept many communities in Alabama's Black Belt alive.
We provide 3,000 direct jobs, but a lot of indirect jobs with feed mills, and we use a lot of parts, and you have tractor dealerships and car dealerships and equipment dealerships, and it turns money for what would normally be an economically deprived area. It's just very helpful to have a good industry here.
Townsend says catfish producers face a number of challenges each day. Just like all farmers, they're affected by weather, commodity prices, and even power rates. But other issues are unique to the industry, like balancing the supply to the demand, and foreign fish that are labeled and sold as catfish. He says that's why it's important to the farmer, to the state, and most importantly to the consumer, to only purchase U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We're growing fish in this country with people who are working here and providing jobs here. Some of the fish that's grown in other countries can be mislabeled, can be called catfish when it's not, and is grown in areas of concern. The Mekong River Delta is where a lot of fish is raised in Vietnam, and it's arguably the most polluted water system in the world, and they're raising fish and sending them over here and have borrowed some of our markets, but it's also a little unsafe because I know the conditions that they're grown in, and I don't want to eat anything from that river.
Alabama's catfish industry is only about 50 years old, so Townsend says it's important for producers to continually work to improve their farming practices so the industry can continue to succeed.
We used to raise 2,000 or 3,000 pounds an acre. Now we're raising 6, 7, some people say 10,000. So we're always tinkering with the number of fish to put in the pond, how big the pond is, how do we catch them, how do we transport them. We're always working on better ways to do these things.
For Simply Southern, I'm Kevin Worthy.
What one thing can you say about your local quality co-op store? You can trust us. You get what you need for your farm, for your lawn and garden, and the safest products for your pets. We're locally owned and operated, and you can trust that we care about our community and the people in it. So if you're a raised bed gardener, a rose gardener, or if you farm hundreds of acres, the Quality Co-op Store has exactly what you need to get the job done. All this plus friendly, knowledgeable advice. Your Quality Co-op Store. There's one near you.
What we eat, what we wear. It all starts somewhere. And if it's good, it usually starts with a farmer. And that somewhere is right here in Alabama. In a field, in a barn, on a tractor. Right now, there's a farmer starting something good for all of us. And it all starts right here in Alabama.
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
FFA makes a positive difference in the lives of students by developing their potential for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through agricultural education.
We're strengthening American agriculture and providing our members with the skills needed to build healthy local communities, a strong nation, and a sustainable world.
We are the next generation of agriculture.
It's our turn now.
Let's show the world what we can achieve together.
We are FFA.
For more Simply Southern, be sure to follow us on social media. And while you're online, visit our website, simplysouthern.tv.net. Simply Southern will continue in a moment.
We believe a plant should be more than a plant. This one is. It's all you need for your garden to succeed because it's a Bonnie plant. It represents hundreds of varieties of Bonnie's quality veggies and herbs. But more, it's from generations of Bonnie people who are passionate about sharing their love of gardening with you. Look for this little Bonnie plant and a whole family of plants like it in your garden center. Bonnie plants, so you'll know how to grow.
Welcome back to Simply Southern, and today we've got a real treat because we have Facebook questions that were submitted by our viewers that Sydney Phelps is going to be answering in the studio. Sydney from Bonnie Plants, great to have you here.
It's always good to be in the studio with you. It's always a pleasure, Sid. Got a question from Mary Jane Hughes. What can I do on my collard plants to stop leaves from getting bugs on them and getting eaten up?
Okay. That's a common issue that we have in any cold crop, early season spring, early season fall. There's a couple of different things that you can do. For the most part, what you're getting is aphids or something that's coming up. Caterpillars are eating the aphids. They're finding nutrition, so they're trying to basically feed themselves. So the first step, if you want to do the organic or the natural way, you can get just like a cap full of dish soap and mix it with water in a spray bottle and spray that on the actual leaves. What that will do is it will suffocate the aphids. They're not going to be able to breathe. They're just going to die out. They'll brown and fall off. So you want to treat that at least every 7 to 10 days. If you have an infestation or a problem like that, that's one level that you can do it. Sevin Dust is a great product to use in this if you want to go more of a conventional style. It just really depends on the gardener. But this works with cabbage worms, cabbage loopers, anything that you have on collard plants. Biggest thing that you're going to see with collard plants though will be a caterpillar or almost like a cabbage worm. So Sevin Dust is probably my personal recommendation, but if you want to go the natural, you can go to the website on bonnieplants.com. There's several different methods you can use.
All right, good answer for Mary Jane. And now we have a question from Rachel Duran. She says, what's your advice for growing tomatoes? Mine always seem to get blossom rot and all sorts of pests bothering them. Help!
Okay. So we've got a couple of different issues here. If she's getting blossom end rot, or if anybody's getting blossom end rot, the biggest thing with that is going to be drainage or a calcium deficiency. So if they're growing in containers, which 9 times out of 10, when people see a heavy dose of blossom end rot, they're in a container that's not drained well. So what you can start off with is get your soil, mix it with rock, put extra holes in the container so that it'll allow any moisture that's building up to drain out. Because what's happening is the moisture content is in the roots. The roots are continually getting nutrients, getting water, and it's basically going to the fruit and allowing it to crack or rot, which is why we have blossom end rot. If it's a calcium deficiency, if they're growing in the ground, you really can't control the amount of water that's coming through. So you can supplement with calcium, eggshells, anything like that, or you can even get bloom set, blossom set. There are different additives that you can use, purchase at a local store that will help add extra nutrients to stop blossom end rot.
All right. Well, thanks so much for being with us, Sydney, and for answering these questions. And for those who submitted a question, they're going to be getting some special gifts, a nice little bird feeder here, and also a Simply Southern gardening bag with all of those tools. And now if you have a question, you can drop Sydney a line at simplysouthern@alafarm.com. And if he answers it on the air, you'll also get those nice gifts.
Thanks for watching Simply Southern today, but it's time for us to go. If you'll come back again next week, I'll show you what to do when a guitar has tangled strings.
And I'll show you one of the most unusual fitness programs you're likely to find anywhere. I'm Mary Johns.
And I'm Jim Allen. We'll see you next time.
Simply Southern is a production of the Alabama Farmers Cooperative and the Alabama Farmers Federation.